Several headlines this week announcing that the rich now pay a lower tax rate than the rest of America and should be taxed more. But do the numbers tell the whole story? I've seen things that totally refuting that entire analysis.
Yes.
But you'll bring it. That's why you're here. Robert
Yes.
Frank joins us now with more.
Yeah, so there's a new op-ed this morning, along with those articles earlier in the week, that say that for the first time in over 100 years, the richest Americans paid a lower tax rate than the bottom 50% of Americans. Now, the research is from a new book by Emmanuel Saez and Gabriel Zuckman. They are the two economists at the University of California, Berkeley, who are advising Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders on both of their wealth taxes. They say that the 400 richest Americans paid a total tax rate of 23% compared to the bottom half of America, which pays 24%. Now, they're not looking at the federal income tax. They're taking all of the estimated taxes paid as a share of total income. So they include federal taxes, state taxes, local taxes, payroll taxes, property taxes, even estimates for driver's licenses and other fees. And they take out the earned income tax credit and other transfers, and their tax figures for the top earners are just estimates, because we don't have IRS numbers for that group yet, based on corporate profits. Now, the recent numbers from the CBO show that the rich do, in fact, pay higher rates, the top 10% paying a top rate of 33% for all federal taxes versus the bottom, which is about 11%. Now, Jason Furman, who was Obama's former economic advisor, tweeted a chart that showed that the top 1% pay over 40% in combined taxes, while the bottom half pays less than 20%. As Furman wrote, the standard data shows that the tax system overall is progressive. So, look, it's fine to argue about whether the wealthy should pay more, whether we need revenue for things like infrastructure, health care, education. But to say that the tax system is not regressive just flies in the face of every is not progressive, flies in the face of every other piece of data out there.
And I was thinking about how to approach the whole argument. We have to decide if we want to make it more progressive. We have to decide who we want to go after. Do we go after the 400 you're talking about? Do we go after the 1% that we're talking about? When we do that, does it raise enough to even come close to paying for everything that they want to do with it? It doesn't. And how low will we have to go? We've got to get well down into the middle class. And then, do we promise that we'll do something good with the money? Will we either make sure that it's not some crazy boondoggle? Can we make sure that it's well spent to try to help in the areas where we want to help? Can we do deficit reduction? Can we do? I mean, I just want to know all these. I just don't want to go blindly rushing into saying, there's a lot of billionaires that are too rich and they don't need their yachts when people are homeless.
Right.
You can't. I mean, that's a very emotional argument.
There are two sides to that. One is, would they really raise what they say they're going to raise?
Right.
Secondly, would it be spent on things that are necessary? And what Elizabeth Warren has said is her tax would raise over $200 billion
and it shouldn't
a year,
be the
and no one else has found that would happen.
It shouldn't just be the politics of envy and just being PO'd that these people have all these.
Or it could be, but let's use numbers that are accurate.
Real numbers,
right?
And that's the baseline for that.